Jet, do you know that there are 3 things that I particularly hate? Kids, animals, and women with attitudes. So tell me, Jet, why do we have all 3 of them neatly gathered in our ship?
Cowboy Bebop, Episode 9, Jammin with Edward, where we get Edward joining the Bebop crew. And I agree with Spike's frustration that he expressed at the beginning of this video. But this is a very original episode. They're hunting a bounty, but not every single bounty is going to be a living person. This is 2071 after all. AI and robots are running a lot of the more menial tasks. So we start off with a conspiracy television station where there is something or someone that's drawing pictures of animals on the Earth's surface. This looks to be a play on something like crop circles, except for they're using lasers to draw these pictures into sand. And this must be stopped. Sure, this isn't some terrible criminal that's robbing people or hitting old ladies over the head with their blaster, but they're defacing valuable Earth property. And so a bounty is set up for this person that's doing this, and the Bebop crew is going to catch him. And there's 8 million Boolongs to catch this terrible crop circle laser guy. Considering the bounties that we've seen them collect so far have been 1 to 2 million Boolongs, 8 is quite a good price. There is a catch though, the cops will only pay this bounty if it's an actual living person. And it turns out that the person or thing, it's a lonely space satellite that's nicknamed MPU by the hacker Edward. And this is a 2001 A Space Odyssey inspired computer, harkening back to the HAL 9000 on 2001 A Space Odyssey. A lonely weather satellite that has nobody to play with him and has decided to draw pictures of animals to keep him preoccupied. Edward, who is a 13-year-old female, though it looks like a boy, the female hacker, begins to communicate with this satellite and begin to start a friendship with him. And interestingly enough, the satellite has a very calming voice and seems very intelligent. And out of these 2 characters, Edward, who's a hyperactive 13-year-old girl that is supposed to be the comic relief for this series, but they already have Spike, who's funny. They already have Faye Valentine, who's funny. They really don't need another comic relief, especially when it's so goofy and over the top and most of the jokes don't land from this character Edward. I think adding her to the Bebop crew is a bad idea, since it's completely unnecessary. Spike is the calm, cool, collective main character. Jet is his sidekick, who's more dour, mature, and has an interesting history about how he used to be a police officer. And Faye Valentine is the female character. She's cunning, conniving, backstabbing, but also good to look at, and does a lot of flirting with Spike. So those 3 play off each other very well, and adding a 4th, Edward, who has nothing in common with these other adults and is just there to be played for laughs, in a series that already has the tone perfectly consistent, throws off the next few episodes of Cowboy Bebop, at least where Edward is present. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. They have to first take on this satellite. Edward makes a deal with Faye that if she helps him take on this satellite and get the bounty, that she will get to join the Bebop crew. Of course, Faye agrees to this, thinking very much she's just gonna rip Edward off at the end. She just goes, yeah, sure, you can join if you want to, wink wink. Knowing very well she's not gonna let Edward join. Or at least she's gonna try not to. And we get another nice space scene. This time, Spike has to go into this satellite and shut it down and collect its data and turn it into the cops, because it's been using its lasers to create these animal dust circles. But the weather satellite can see him coming. He has to shut off his computer in his spaceship and manually drive it over there, using bursts of air from the left and right to guide his spaceship. And it's a very nice scene. He does this several times in the series, where they have to manually drive these spaceships, and I think it's always a good touch. Edward is fine as a one-off character, since she's supposed to be quite annoying and annoys the Bebop crew, as she is helping them, but she also wants to help the satellite as well, since she became friends with it. She's going to make a copy of the satellite so that she can talk to it on her own, then pretend to destroy it. But both people are happy. She gets to have a friend with this lonely satellite MPU, and also they get to collect the bounty. But unfortunately, since this episode hates us, the satellite destroys itself as it becomes too lonely, and they leave it up in the air why it decides to self-destruct, but it seems like it just didn't want to live anymore. And because it's not a real person, the Bebop crew cannot collect the bounty. The bounty is only for living human beings. Probably should have checked on that before they went and tried to take this thing down, but there's usually a twist in these episodes where they don't make too much money. It's almost like they don't want them to upgrade their spaceship too much. But I would like to see at some point them to make some money, and even if they end up blowing it. And they keep rehashing that Faye Valentine has a gambling addiction, so even if they did make money, she would take the money and just gamble it at the casino and lose. So they don't get the bounty. But also, Faye Valentine is not going to pick up Edward. She doesn't want to be with Edward. I'm with her. Don't have this person join. Have it be an ancillary character. You have some of the old men that show up occasionally to help them out. But don't have her join the Bebop crew full time, and we have to hear her annoying ramblings for absolutely no reason and messing up the perfect tone of this series.
Yahoo! Bebop!
Making it a little too goofy. But Edward is a hacker, so when Faye tries to get the ship to drive away, she hacks into the ship and makes it fly and come to her, and now she joins the crew. Oh boy. Luckily, most of the episodes do not feature all that much Edward, but yeah, I'm disappointed that they decided to make this character out of all the characters they had. Not Heavy Metal Queen, not Rocco, crew Punch and Judy from the Big Shot Bounty Hunter show, which provides some comedic relief. No, none of those people joined the Bebop crew. The one person, I think the worst side character, Edward, joins. It seems like they sort of realized this, since she's not featured that much in many of the episodes, and the one she is featured in, Mushroom Samba, is actually a really fun episode where they're high the entire time, so it kind of makes sense. So I'm going to give Jammin with Edward an 8 out of 10. For the satellite, for the parts with the satellite, I think harkening back to A Space Odyssey is a great idea, and it's really nice to have bounties that aren't just people, because this is a space western. So throw in some androids, throw in a lonely satellite. I'm here for it. Next up is Ganymede Elegy. We're back on Mars. We went to Venus. We went space trucking. Back on the moon of Mars, Ganymede. And this one features Jet finally getting off his ass and doing something. He's a good character. They should use him more. Don't use Edward, use Jet. The dog iron's pretty cool as well. And check out our playlist for all episodes of Cowboy Bebop. We're going to do all 26. Tales from the Dark Side, Black Mirror, Mystery Science Theater 3000, Pet Shop of Horrors.